What's up guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about the Accurate Valiant 500N slow pitch jigging reel. I'm going to dig into the features on this reel and what Accurate has done to make this a slow pitch jigging reel, as well as I'm going to give you my personal opinion and what I think about this reel.
Just a few guys decided to pursue our passion. As we hit destination fishing spots in our local waters out of Pompano Beach, Florida, we want to fill you in on what we have learned along the way.
So let's dig in. Let's talk about some of the features that Accurate changed from this reel versus this reel, which is the original 500N that I've been fishing for years. So the first thing you'll notice is they changed the handle on it. It's a bigger handle, it's a longer handle versus the round one. And then the other thing is the arm on the reel. So this arm, actually, if you measure from center of here to center of here, you get 3 7/8 inches versus on the standard Valiant, same measurement from the center here to the center here, you're gonna get 3 1/8 inches. So it's about 3/4 of an inch difference on the arm length. The next feature that Accurate has changed about this reel is they removed the clicker. The clicker is completely gone from the reel versus the other reel. You'll see that the clicker is placed right here. Next feature on this is the holes are drilled on the bottom, but the clamp doesn't come with the reel. It's something that Accurate is not providing with the slow pitch jigging series. One more feature is that the color. It only comes in silver. That's all you're gonna get. I would imagine sometime in the future, they're gonna change it up to where you'll be able to have the black or the blue. Even the engraving here will have an option to put a color in it. I would imagine in the future they're gonna do that, but as for now, the only thing you're gonna get is the silver. Let's talk about some stats. So this reel has 45 inches per crank, just like the other Accurate Valiant. No difference there. The next thing is you're going to be able to hold over 400 yards of 30-pound test, which will cover most of the fishing you want to do as far as slow pitch jigging is concerned. It has the lever drag just like the old Boss Valiant, nothing different there, as well as 30 pounds of drag at the max. So each turn of the handle is supposed to give you 45 inches per crank. Let's test that out. Alright guys, so it's time for some highly scientific testing. So what I've done is I've placed a piece of high-vis tape on the end of my line here, and I put it right at the 45-inch mark on my measuring tape that I have here, and I stretched it across the tape, and then I put another piece of tape right at the end. So I know that I have a piece of tape marking 45 inches from start to finish. Now, I'm going to take my reel and I'm going to place the first piece of tape right on the metal bar right about there. So I know that that's the start of my 45 inches. I'm going to release the bail and I'm going to set my handle to where it's exactly in line with my drag set right there. I know where my starting point is. I know where my finishing point is. I'm going to give the handle a full rotation like so, all the way around, and I'm going to stop it exactly where the drag set is, right there. And so that gives me my measurement of exactly how much is left. I would say that's about 4 inches left on a full crank on it. Now, here's the thing. This spool is not all the way filled. I've lost some line from fishing this reel over time, and so you're not gonna get the full 45 inches, but I do believe that this reel is at 45 inches per crank, just like Accurate advertises. All right, let me give you my opinion on this reel and what I think about it. I've had the opportunity to fish this for the past month, and I absolutely love it. I'll tell you the features that I love about it. The first thing is the handle. Being able to have the control over the handle because of the size of it and the curvature of it and how it fits in your hand so perfectly, it really gives you extra control from going side to side, especially whenever fighting a fish. I've fished this reel traditionally with the round handle for quite some time, and I realized that over time, doing long range trips as well as spending days out at sea and fighting fish after fish, that after a while this round handle gets a little bit uncomfortable and it tends to bruise your hand right in this area here. So having the bigger handle with the control was a big plus for me. The next thing is the length of the arm here. This gives you more leverage. It's basic physics. More leverage means it's easier to reel a fish in. So if you get that big reef donkey that's at the bottom of the ocean, it's going to be a lot easier to reel it in. Another thing that I really liked that they changed about it was the clicker. The clicker serves zero purpose in slow pitch jigging. I never used it. The only time I could think of that I would even consider putting the clicker on would be if I'm rigging and tying my knots. That way you're not getting the backlash. But you have another option available to you. You could just put a little bit of tension on the lever and then you get the same exact effect where you can pull a line out without backlashing. So the clamp that goes on the bottom of the reel. So the holes are drilled, but they don't send the clamp with it or the bolts that screw into the clamp. I think it's something that they could have added anyways. For the guy who likes to put that clamp on, there was a time that I always put the clamp on. Recently, I've actually taken it off and I don't use it as much, and that's only for the reason that I've been switching from one rod to the next rod to the next reel to the next rod, and it's become problematic putting it on. And also, I've been fishing exclusively the Johnny Jigs Pro Jigger lately, and we have an aluminum reel seat on it, so I don't have any worries about the reel seat breaking. So this reel does come in a 2-speed as well. You'll have that option to where you can click a little button right here and get into that second gear to make it easier to reel a fish in. I do not use a 2-speed. I prefer just a single speed. I did own a 2-speed at one time, and I can remember myself turning the second speed on maybe one time in the past. So for me, the less moving parts, the less things that could break is the better option for me. So I'll be sticking to just a single speed no matter what depth or what fishery I'm in. The single speed will work just fine for me. The weight of the reel. So this reel does come in at 16 ounces. It's a little bit heavier than the standard Valiant, but at the end of the day, really my idea on this is if you're gonna go from 150 gram jig to a 250 gram jig in a blink of an eye, what's another ounce? It's not a big deal, really not. Price point. So it's gonna come in at $540. It's a little bit higher than the other Valiant. And then there's also the 2-speed option, which is around $620. I feel like they're gonna do a little better on that price, hopefully in the future, maybe come down on a little bit, because you did remove parts, as well as, you know, there's not much more to this than the standard Boss Valiant. So that's the scoop. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You could also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and jig on.